Some people appear absolutely fine when you look at them. They go to work, talk to family, even send jokes on WhatsApp, but they feel a kind of heaviness in their hearts. One man lost his job after 14 years of working, in an office, and he did not tell anyone, not even his wife. Every morning he packed his bag, left the house with his lunch box, pretending to go to work. Similarly, a college student got suspended for a year and he did not tell his parents, who lived in another city. He made up stories of how he spent time in college. Another woman delivered a healthy baby, had family support as well, but still she cried alone every night in the bathroom. So none of these people wanted to lie or cheat their loved ones. They just, did not know how to share what they felt. Now, I'm not talking about grief here. If you have lost someone or something precious, it is natural to feel sad, and down for weeks or even months together. Now, that's a healthy part of healing. But what we are looking at today is something that we call sadness that remains in us, without any valid reason, or at least we think it's not valid, but it affects the quality of our life. So, how can we say that it is sadness? So, let me show you. So, what, say, for example, you do your daily work, which you used to do and love earlier, but now you don't have any interest in them. So, or you stop calling or meeting people, or you stop getting ready or groom yourself properly, or you keep scrolling, on devices without any being interested in anything. And also, if you are feeling low throughout the day, so if you or any of your close people observe this, in yourself, and if you feel this almost every day for more than 10 to 12 days continuously, then it is most likely that you're feeling sad. So we you can say that we have identified some ways where you can know whether you're feeling sad, but the next question is, so where does this sadness actually come from? It need not be the same for everyone. We based on how the sadness, or the source of the sadness, it can be grouped under four broad types. So let me break down these four broad types in this way. So first one is what we call as situational. That means something big changes, like a job loss, relationship breaks, or you just moved from the place that you used to call home. Okay. So the second one is psychological. That is things like complicated grief, where you can't process a loss, which I spoke about earlier. I'll talk about the grief part in another video, but then it could be about learned helplessness. That is, a psychologist called Martin Seligman actually said, when you make repeated failures, or you fail in things that you keep trying, so you get into this situation where it's called learned helplessness. Or it could be self discrepancy. Another psychologist called Tori Higgins, he said that if uh, the way you perceive yourself and the way you are currently turning out is very different, then you find that situation. Now, third group of reasons could be biological or hormonal. So for women, childbirth or postpartum, they call it, or it could be premenstrual syndrome, could be menopause. So that there are hormonal changes. And for both genders, It could be due to other kind of hormonal deficiencies, or like thyroid or serotonin, or even it could be vitamin D deficiency, and of course substance abuse. So these can affect the mood even if nothing outside is, looking, everything is all right from the outside. And the fourth is social or environmental kind of um, reasons. So even though you might be having people around you, but there's no emotional support, or you could be doing long working hours without adequate rest for long periods, or you're just feeling lonely even when there are people there. So this could be one of the, I mean, one of these groups of reasons could be the cause uh, for the sadness. Now, if we leave this sadness alone, it can become very dangerous. So, in a moment, I'll just share with you how this kind of progression happens. So, what happens when you start ignoring the sadness? I think we can break this down under three levels. So, level one is when you are feeling tired all the time, physically, even emotionally, or you're not getting adequate sleep. You're like uh, 2 hours, 3 hours a day, those kind of things. You're not feeling like eating food, or you completely lose interest in your physical appearance. So, these could be the first level of progression. Then the second level is when there's absolutely no motivation for anything, for any work. You start even avoiding people, coming to your house, or you going out for long periods. You just feel like being alone, not even calling or speaking to one another, and you even don't do the things that you used to love doing it earlier. Like, and this is for long periods, not like 1 or 2 days, but for long periods. And this could go to the next level, which I think would be the dangerous level, where things like, oh, now it does not matter anymore, or life has become a waste, or I think it's better even if I'm not here, for this, or those kind of things. Like, they are very um, very very dangerous and extreme kind of emotions. Now, these are not just plain emotions. You have to be very sure. These This means that sadness has taken control, and it needs immediate attention. You could think of it like a medical emergency. So the good thing is, it doesn't have to reach that level 3 stage. Now, there are many ways of how somebody can come out of sadness, but I have found that there is one particular method which comes from the, let's say, uh, the background of cognitive behavioral theory, which works well for many people, especially in related to the incidents or the situations we are talking about. So we'll talk about how anyone can just try these with simple small steps. Okay. So step one, I think the first way of making it obvious is say that feeling out loud. That means you have to admit, like, I'm feeling low, or you have to say that I'm bored and I'm feeling sad. So just naming it without being confused about that feeling, whether I'm all right or I'm not all right. So that takes out the hard part of it. So not being all right is absolutely okay, but it is not okay to ignore that feeling. So that is one. The second thing is, you could actually change one thing that you do in your day. So whatever you've been not doing, or you've been completely with yourself the whole day or for weeks together, so we need to change that one thing. So for example, you've been sitting inside one particular room, so get out of the room and stay in another room. Or if you've been in the house and you're not going outside, just take a small walk outside. Or the way you actually started your day, instead of that, maybe do a different thing. consciously. So that's another way of changing or making that change. Now, another important thing is the movement itself. That means more you are physically moving, it makes you feel a little more active. So you could, instead of just receiving something by delivery to your doorstep, you can go to the gate and pick it up. Or instead of putting everything in the dishwasher, you could wash the plates. Or giving instruction to your robo, you could actually sweep the house. So these kind of small movements actually starts taking, or bringing that sadness away, clearing the cobwebs. Fourth one is to speak to at least one person, because you have not been speaking to anybody, you have been kind of keeping to yourself. So that itself will create a lot of moodiness. So you could actually speak to at least one person. So if not, every day, at least every other day. So just speak. You don't need to ask for advice. You just need to stop being silent. That's the key thing. So we have looked at how sadness feels in daily life, four broad reasons of what sadness could be caused, like situational, psychological, biological, and social, and what could happen if we ignore those feelings, and one of the methods to reverse that kind of feeling. So, just to summarize, sadness can be created from anywhere. It could be from events, it could be in the mind, it could be in the body, or even in our surroundings. But if we let it remain, then it will grow into something which is harder to control. So, small, simple steps can help us get rid of those doldrums. So, in my next video, we'll talk about the emotion, which is the opposite of sadness and which is a positive emotion. Uh, we call it joy or happiness, and we'll talk about that in more detail in the next one. So for this one, if you've been able to come out of feeling sad before, or if you know someone who has come out of being sad, then please write in the comments below. Write one thing that possibly helped, and maybe it could make a difference to someone. Thank you for watching.